Hi, good morning, all of you. So we have learned about lean system and innovation in last two sessions. So today we will be winding up this topic. So let's continue with the lean system and innovation. So we have learned about total productive maintenance in last session. Obviously, we will continue this topic and we will take some more question from here. We will take some more question, but what I have planned, let's do some other topic first, then we will continue this topic. All right, so let's take some other topic and then we will continue this. Okay, so what is the next topic? So we have the next topic as the next topic is what? We have the next topic as Six Sigma. This is the next topic. All right, so we will come back to total productive maintenance and we will do more question. I have taken more question to solve, but let's start this topic first and let's finish the entire topic and then we will take questions. So now let's talk about Six Sigma. So the question comes here, what is Six Sigma, ma'am? All right, what is Six Sigma, ma'am? So if you will see Six Sigma, as I told you in last session, that actually Six Sigma was introduced by, first time it was introduced by Motorola company. This was first time introduced by Motorola company and their aim was to produce defect-free goods, and they have a target that they will produce 99.9996% good units, right? And just few percentage of defective units. Yeah. So actually, if you will see in US, they have created such type of category that 2 Sigma, okay, organization work under 3 Sigma, 4 Sigma, okay, 6 Sigma. So this is the best standard because as we move from 6 Sigma to 2 Sigma, the number of acceptance of number of defects will increase. When we move from 6 Sigma to 2 Sigma, the acceptance of defect will increase. And what do we want here? We want to produce defect-free units. So 6 Sigma have the least defect here. They have the least defect. All right. So what is the aim of Six Sigma? To produce 99.9996% good units and just how many? Just few percent as defective units. But now you can see this was actually just a response. This Six Sigma was just a response to what? This was a response to all the revolution that happened in Japan. This was just a response to all the revolution that happened in Japan. All right. Okay. So what was that? If you will see here, DMAC and DMA-DV, these are the two Six Sigma method. You can see DMA-DV and DMAC. They are the two method of implementation of Six Sigma. All right. Okay, so if you will see the first one, it is what is the difference? Let's try to understand the difference between them. Let's try to understand the difference between them. So the first one is what? DMAC and DMA-DV. These are the two type of Six Sigma. All right. So let's understand what is the difference between DMA-DV and DMAC. All right. Okay. So if you will see DMAC, one of the method we applied to the new product. When we are completely introducing a new product in the market. Or when we want to improve the existing product, existing services. All right, sometimes we want to just improve the existing product or just want to improve the existing services. All right, sometimes this happens that we just want to improve the existing product or existing services. And sometimes we want to introduce a new product in the market. All right, so first we have to check what do we want to do. In case of implementation of Six Sigma, we have to check what do you want to do? Do you want to improve your existing product, or do you want to introduce a new product in the market? Accordingly, we implement Six Sigma. All right. So if you will see, DMAC is for existing product. DMAC. So DMAC is for existing product, and DMADV, this is for new product. When we want to introduce a new product in the market, we use DMADV. And when we just want to improve the existing product, we use DMAC. All right. These are the two methods we have, DMAC and DMADV of Six Sigma. So let's talk about DMAC first, where we focus on improving the existing product. Where our focus is to improve the existing product. What are the steps that we follow here in case of DMAC? All right. You can see here it is written what? That this will result in drastic improvement in the company. Right? This will result in drastic improvement in the company. Now the question is that, ma'am, why is it written here drastic improvement? So as I told you in last session also, that a company or the organization can have these type of improvement. What type of improvement? We have discussed this. Give me 1 minute. Allow me 1 minute. So what we have learned in last session, we have learned this is what? This is actually a response to all the Japanese revolution. You can see they had amazing revolution in their company, their country, and all the companies in their country just because of lean system. And this helped them so much that from destruction, they have converted their entire economy into world's third largest economy. So you can imagine how this Japan has become a threat to all the US companies. So in order to respond, they have implemented Six Sigma. All right. So when you will study this, you can imagine, you can see that their entire focus was to reduce the defect from the company. But still I find, if you will see, there is actually a gap. Why? Because if you will see lean system, it was completely focused on zero defect. Not at all, even a single defective unit. Amazing. Their strategies was amazing. The way of producing the goods was amazing, right? They were just focusing on, quality product. They are all responsible for bringing quality revolution in entire world. Quality revolution, it all started from Japan. After this lean implementation of lean system and all in Toyota company. So this all revolution, it all started here in Japan. Now, in order to respond, they have implemented Six Sigma. Obviously, their focus was to reduce defect, right? The focus was to reduce defect. But the point was that still, they have not introduced what? Zero defective production process. And it was not like, if you will study here, you'll find it was not focused on zero defective. Zero defective means quality right the first time. No, what they have mentioned we are accepting some level of defect. But even after implementation of lean in Japan, they were not able to produce or give such strategy that can help the company to produce no defective unit. No, not at all. Not even single unit defective, right? So they were not able to do that, right? It was just a response where they have developed this, and you can see their focus was to improve the quality of the product and customer services. And one more point I want to explain you here, that an organization can have three types of improvement actually. An organization can have three types of improvement. Give me 1 minute. So an organization can have three types of improvement. One is very small improvement. One can be what? Very small improvement. One can be what? Dramatic improvement. And one can be what? Drastic improvement. Right? So if you will see, Japanese, they were all focused on small improvement. If you will see about continuous improvement, if we talk about continuous improvement, it was actually focused on small improvement, small, little by little, a little become a lot, right? So this was their strategy, small changes. So they were, this was their belief. If we will do small changes in the company, one day it will become a big change in the company, right? It will become a big change in the company if they focus on improving their small areas every day, everywhere, right? If they focus on improving their small areas, one day it will result in an impactful change in the organization. So they were all focusing on small improvement. But if you will see Six Sigma, this was what lean system introduced by Japan. It was all focused on small improvement. But if you will see Six Sigma, it was actually a drastic improvement. So in Motorola company, they have implemented Six Sigma, and that brought a drastic improvement in the company. And this company, Motorola, they won Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award for bringing this drastic improvement in company's product and services. They won this award for 2 times for implementing. They have actually implemented Six Sigma 2 times in their organization, and after implementation of Six Sigma, they won this award, Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. So the point is that if you will see here, they are focusing on drastic improvement. They are not focusing on small improvement. Neither it is a dramatic improvement. It is a drastic improvement, right? Six Sigma, it's a drastic improvement. All right. If you will talk about dramatic improvement, so what will come here? Business process re-engineering, completely improve the organization. I'll give you I will give you example also. We will do this later on about business process re-engineering. We will discuss later. All right. So let's discuss about first what Six Sigma, where we have studied that Six Sigma is actually focusing on what? It is actually focusing on drastic improvement in the company. So DMAC, where the company is actually focusing on improving existing product and services. What are the steps? We have 5 steps here. First is what? Define the problem. Define the project goal of the company. Define the customer requirement, right? So you can see even this company is now focusing on customer focus. As we have discussed in last session, that actually they have found, every organization, they found that now the market is what? Buyer market, customer market. This is not a seller market. This is what? Buyer market, where customer is king. Because entire market has become one market, supplier has increased in this market. So market has become a buyer market. Now what is happening? Instead of focusing on your own product, the company wants to focus on customer. Customer is king. Focus on customer first. Understand their need. Accordingly produce the goods. First understand the need of the customer. Then accordingly produce the goods for the customer. So this is what we are expecting. All right. Okay. So you can watch it here also. For the existing product, for improving the existing product or services, you can see here they are actually what considering. They're actually considering what, when you are defining the problem of the company, consider the company's goal, project goal, consider the problem of the company, and understand the requirement of the customer. So you can see here it is mentioned customer requirement. Try to understand the requirement of the customer. All right. Okay. So after that, measure the process to determine the current performance. First, understand the customer requirement, understand the goal, understand the problem, then understand what determine the current performance, how you are performing right now, your current performance, how you are performing right now. Then what will happen? Analyze the process to determine the root cause of the problem or the variation in the company. So that means if the company is producing defective units, find why the company is producing defective units. Find the reason why the company is actually producing defective units. All right. So when you discover the defect, when you discover the problem or the reason, the root cause for which the company is producing defective unit, if you have identified those reason that why the company is producing defective unit, then improve the process by addressing or eliminating what root cause of the problem. Improve the process, right? By eliminating root cause of problem. After eliminating the problem, what will happen? Maintain the improved process and future process performance. So I hope it is clear. What is the step? So first is what? Identify the problem. Identify the customer requirement. Then identify the goal, project goal. So identify these things, right, in the company. What is the problem? Why the company is problem? Like you can find the company is producing defective unit. You can find that customer is not happy with the services. So find it. After that, understand the current scenario. Understand the existing process of the company, right? Then analyze why the problem is arising. Analyze. So how will you analyze? By identifying the root cause of problem. By finding the root cause of problem. Then once you find the root cause of problem, find how to eliminate them. How to eliminate them, how to eliminate the root cause of problem. Then maintain this, control, maintain this process. All right. So these are the step of DMAC. This is what this DMAC is implemented for the existing product or existing services. So if for the existing product or services, you will find the problem. For the existing product or services, you will find the customer requirements. You will find the goal. Understand the existing process. Analyze what are the root cause of problem. Then what will happen? Eliminate all the root cause of problem from the company. Then maintain the process. That's it. So this is what DMAC. DMAC. I hope this is clear. Yes. Is it clear? I hope this is clear. Is there any doubt? Okay, so these are the steps which we follow in case of DMAC. Now let's understand DMA-DV. Next is what? DMA-DV. So DMA-DV is, we use DMA-DV for what? New process, new product. When we want to introduce a new product in the market or new services, not for the existing product or services, we use what? DMAC. All right. Now let's try to understand the step of DMAC. Then we will take example also, right? We have example of banking company that existing, how we can improve the existing process of banking company. Before that, let's first try to understand the step of DMADV for the new product or services, right? So let's try to understand what are the steps involved in DMADV. So you can see what is the aim of DMADV. The aim is what? To produce high quality product where there is no defect or very minimum defects. So keeping in mind the customer requirement at every stage and focuses on producing quality product. So what are the steps? First, define the goal of the company and the customer deliverables. Means what do you want to deliver them? First, find it. What do you want to deliver to the customer and what are the project goals? All right. Then what will happen? Measure and determine the customer needs and specification. Then analyze the process, options to meet the customer needs. So analyze your entire process and identify what are the options you have to meet the customer needs. Then design the process to meet the customer needs. Design your entire process in such a way so that you can meet the customer needs. Then what will happen? Verify design performance and ability to meet customer needs. Right? So you will design your entire process in such a way so that you can meet the customer need. What is the need? Maybe the need of the customer is that they want units without any defects. This was their need. So you will first see what is the need of the customer. Then what will happen? Accordingly, you will design your entire process of the company. All right, so this is what DMADV, and this is for the new product or services. You can see it is actually because the product is not ready, and here the service is not ready. The process or procedure is also not ready. Before starting your entire process of production, before producing the goods, you are working on what it is an initial stage actually. So you are working from initial stage that how we can produce the customer deliverables, how we can produce a goods and services which can give the best satisfaction to the customer, right? So for that reason, first you will understand what is the requirement of the customer. Then you will measure, right, what need to be done to satisfy the customer needs, right? So you will determine the customer needs and specification. You will analyze entire process of the organization and to find out how you can fulfill the need of the customer. Then accordingly, you will design your entire process so that you can meet the need of the customer. Then later on, you will verify the entire design of the company. So this is what these are the steps we follow in case of DMADV. Now the point is that let's understand, okay, if these are the steps, then how we can implement these steps in case of actually in a company. So as we have learned that these step is implemented in the existing process or existing product. So if you will see, they have taken a problem of banking sector, all right, and they are just trying to analyze that how they can implement DMAC here. DMAC is what? Where you implement this for the existing product and services. So how we can implement DMAC in existing process or existing services. So if you will see, when you want to implement DMAC, we actually implement it for the existing product or existing services. Their focus is on continuous improving the organization and only a single process needed here to be altered. Then competitor action, we assume, these are assumption. We assume that the competitors action are stable, because if the competitors action will change, accordingly you have to change your strategies. So before implementation of DMAC, we will assume that the action of the competitor are stable. Then customer's behavior is unchanged, because if the customer behavior will change, accordingly you have to change your strategy. So here they are assuming that the behavior of customer will remain unchanged during the time when you want to implement DMAC. Then you are assuming that the technology is stable, because if the technology will change, then accordingly you have to change the strategy. So here we are assuming that these three things will remain constant. And under those circumstances, we are implementing DMAC. All right. Okay. Now we have taken a problem from banking company. You can see here, we have a problem from banking company that how in the existing process or procedure or for the existing services, how we can implement DMAC. All right. So we have learned the step. These are the step of DMAC. First, we define the problem, existing problem. Then we see the existing process. Then we identify the root cause of problem through analysis. We will do the analysis and we will try to identify the root cause of problem. Then what will happen? We will improve the root cause of problem. Then what will happen? We will maintain it. Whatever the improvement we have implemented in the organization, we want to maintain them in future. So control is required. These are the step of DMAC. Now let's try to see if there is a problem in a bank, how we can implement DMAC. So first try to understand the problem of the bank. See what is the customer requirement. So generally in case of banking, what are the customer requirement? Customer expect loyalty, right? Because see, I have my hard-earned money in bank. I keep my hard-earned money in bank. So what I expect from bank, their loyalty and customer satisfaction. This is what the customer requirement is. Then the project goal. We will define all these things when we want to implement DMAC in case of banking. All right. After that, what will happen? We will measure the existing process. How right now, how at present, these banks are actually providing their services. You will understand the existing process of the company. You will try to understand, okay, right now, if the customer is not happy with the company, what are the process the company is actually following right now, which is actually not giving the satisfaction to the customer, right? You will try to understand the existing process of the company, and here we just try to identify the existing process of the company and try to understand why these processes is actually not giving the satisfaction to the customer, right? So for considering that aim in the mind, we will try to understand the existing process, right, of the company. Like for example, a banking company can have a long waiting time. You can imagine just few years back, 6-7 years back, when we do not have the facility of internet banking. For example, UPI, we don't have such facilities. So how we transfer the money? We have to visit the bank, we have to draw a check or RTGS. We have to use such kind of facilities for transferring the money from one account to another account. That actually take time, right? When you transfer the money through check, it take at least 3 days to transfer the money. So the point is that it increases the waiting time to receive the money. And nowadays, if you want to transfer the money, you can just use UPI, you can just use internet banking, and you can transfer the money like this. I hope you can imagine that how the banking services, due to internet revolution, how the banking services has improved a lot. Due to what revolution? Internet revolution. We all can use UPI for transferring the instant money, right? And we can use internet banking for transferring the money. So you can see that how internet have brought revolution in banking sector services. You don't even need to visit a bank for transferring the money. So how good it is, right? Because for example, if I want to go in bank and I want to transfer some money, it will take my at least 1 hour, right? I have to travel to bank and all, right? It will increase my waiting time and all, right? So obviously it is saving the time now, right? So the point is that first try to understand the existing process. Generally, if you will see long time back, banking have a lot of waiting time. Customer have to wait in bank, right? But now what is happening, you can see that how the banking services have been improved, right? Okay, so analyze identify the root cause of problem. In case if the banking have lot of waiting time, identify why the banking company have such a long waiting time. So find the root cause of problem, right? Then implement that how we can improve the root cause of problem, right? So take the corrective action, study the impact of proposed improvement. Take the corrective action. You have discovered the root cause of problem, then here take the corrective action so that you can remove those root cause of problem from the company. Then what will happen? Maintain it. Whatever the improvement you have done in the organization, maintain it. Okay. Maintain the improved process and future process performance. All right. Okay. So this is what these are the steps we can follow in case of DMAC for the existing process, for improving the existing process in case of banking company. Now, DMADV is for new product or process. All right. DMADV is for new product or process. It has strategic importance. It need multiple process need to be altered here. When you want to implement DMADV for the new product and services, what will happen? Multiple steps is required here. But if you will see in case of DMAC, only one step is required to improve the existing process. Now here also they are assuming, this is all assumption. Before implementing what DMADV or DMAC, for DMADV, what are the assumption? Customer performance is changing. Behavior is changing. Technology is growing. Now here you are considering these are dynamic. For the existing process, we were assuming that they are not changing. But here we are assuming that they are changing. And now if the competitor's performance is changing, the customer satisfaction, customer behavior is changing, and the technology is changing, if everything is dynamic and everything is keep on changing, then in such scenario, when you want to implement a new product or services in the market, what step you want to follow, what step you have to follow, so that you can provide the best customer satisfaction. So this is DMADV, right? You can see it is a proactive approach. Actually, you are considering the risk, right? This is a proactive approach. Okay. Now, what is the similarity between DMAC and DMADV? Both methodology uses same kind of Six Sigma quality management tool. We will learn later on what are these quality management tools. Customer needs basic parameter, 5-step is both, and fundamental of improving the quality of products and services. Now the point is that what is the difference between them? So you can see here what is happening. In case of DMADV, what is happening? This is what a proactive approach. And DMAC is when you are implementing DMAC for existing process. So that means there is already some problem in the organization and you're trying to find it out and remove from the organization. So you can see here DMAC is actually a reactive approach because problem is already there. Now it is your reaction, how to identify those problem and remove it from the organization. So it is what? A reactive approach. All right. So you can see in case of DMAC, we find the process, we try to find out the problem in existing process and fix them. And in case of DMADV, what will happen? We will design a new product, new process for the organization. You can see it is actually a reactive approach and DMADV is a proactive approach. All right, you can see DMAC is what? Increase the capability of the company. DMADV increase the capacity of the company. Okay, capability means ability to do something. Right? So if you want to implement DMAC for existing process, you are improving the ability of the company to perform something. But if you talk about DMADV, it is actually improving the capacity. Company can produce more product, high quality product with less defect. So this is actually improving the capacity of the company. Right? Okay. Then what? It reduces the cycle time to process a patent. These are example of implementation of DMAC. Reduces the number of errors, improve the search time for critical information. These are what? These are all problem solving methods. And in case of DMADV, examples of procedure that DMADV is designed to address. So add a new service, create a real-time system and create multiple sources lead tracking system. So these are what the steps we follow in case of DMAC and DMADV. These are the steps we follow in case of DMAC and DMADV. All right. Now we have just learned here that in both the cases, we use some quality management tool. Both in DMAC and DMADV, we use some tools, right? So these are the tools which we use in both the cases. What are these tools? First, control chart. First is control chart. All right, I think it is not here. Give me 1 minute. I'll show you the control chart. Give me 1 minute. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'll show you the control chart. Just give me 1 minute. Let me show you the control chart. So this is a control chart. All right. This is a control chart. So what is control chart? With the help of this control chart, actually the company sets some limits, right? Limit means what variation is acceptable for the company, right? This is the level of variation which is acceptable by company. Beyond this, the company will not expect any variation. All right. So you can see the upper limit which the company can accept and the lower limit of error or defect that the company can accept, right? So they will actually, like in Six Sigma, they can expect an error of 0.00064%. So the point is that they are just defining the limit within which they can accept the errors, right? So what will happen? They will decide the upper and lower limit, and they will decide the limit within which it is acceptable. Beyond that, it will not be acceptable. They will identify if any problem is occurring beyond the limit. They will identify immediately what is the problem, what is the root cause of problem, why it is coming beyond the limit. So this is what control chart. They use the control chart here. They define the limit within which they can accept the problems. Beyond that, not acceptable. This is control chart. All right. Next is histograph. I hope you all know that how we draw the histograph, right? So here you can see they have plotted it between the frequency and defects per hour. So within an hour, how many defects is acceptable? You will draw such kind of graph. Then you will see whether it is within your limit or not, or what, right? You can do further study on it. All right. Next is quality control. So what will happen here? You will use statistical process control. So here we will prepare such type of, statistics. Actually, we do not have questions in solving the value of sigma. Otherwise, we can have such question in statistic that how we can find these deviation. Okay, in statistic, you must have studied about how we can find these deviations. So quality control and statistical process control is all about finding the covariance, correlation, and these, standard deviation values, right? I hope you have studied about that, how we can find the value, standard deviations. So sigma is here, standard deviation, and we use statistic here. I'm not teaching it because it is not in, not in that way in your exam. It is not in statistical form in your exam. You just need to understand the concepts and the theory. All right. So it's not in that way. Okay. Next is quality. Next quality management is control chart. Okay, we have already discussed the control chart, that we decide some limit and we do not want any error, defect, or anything beyond this limit, right? If it is beyond this limit, we will inform immediately and we will try to improve them from the organization. Then the next one is process mapping. So in case of process mapping, we prepare a chart in this way. Okay, workflow diagram. So in this way, we prepare a workflow diagram, so that we can find how the things to be done, how things to be done, how the things to be done. All right. So we will prepare a workflow diagram in this way. And this will help to reduce the time and defect from the company. So this will help you to reduce time, and this will help to reduce the defect from the company. All right. When you prepare a workflow in this way, then what will happen? A tree diagram. Tree diagram means what are the outcomes. If this will be the outcome, then further what will be the outcome. If this will be the outcome, what will be the further outcomes. If this will be the outcome, what will be the further outcome. If this will be the outcome, what will be the further outcome out of this. So in this way, you will prepare a tree diagram. Next is you will find the cause and effect diagram, right? If there is any effect, what are the cause and effect diagram. Then what will happen? You will prepare, you will use this quality management tool. What is it? Root cause analysis. So for any organization, most of the problem is because of the root cause of problem. So identify for anything, any error, any defect, anything, try to identify the root cause of problem in the organization. Then what will happen? You will use Pareto diagram. You will study this in chapter 4. I'll teach you this topic in chapter 4. We will study about it, that how we use Pareto chart. But we use this as a quality management tool in DMAC and DMA-DB. All right, that's it. So these are what quality management tools, right, which we use in DMAC and DMA-DB for the implementation of DMAC and DMA-DB. All right. Now, what are the limitation of Six Sigma? So the point is that if you will see lean management, that was completely focused on improving the entire process, entire thing of the organization. But here it is only focused on improving what? The quality. And it requires substantial, actually what is happening here, a very huge cost is required here for the implementation of this Six Sigma. DMAC and DMA, huge cost is required. But you have learned that in case of lean, they focus on reducing the cost and increasing the value. They were also focusing on reducing the cost. They have focused on removing all the non-value-added activity from the company. They have focused on removing all the waste from the company. So you can imagine, in case of lean system, their focus was on reducing the cost and improving the quality. But if you will see here, if you want to implement Six Sigma, their aim is to improve the quality, but it requires huge cost. So we have learned this philosophy in the beginning. Quality or cost, what do you want? If you need high quality, you need to incur high cost. This is what happening. This was actually happening in USA. So even you can see, actually Six Sigma is not a better solution. What I have observed, Six Sigma was actually not a better solution if you compare Six Sigma with lean system. Lean system was the best solution for the organization. And for that reason, you can see later on, Lean Six Sigma was introduced. Because if you will study it, you will find that, oh, it's of no use. If you want for the quality, if we have to incur high cost, then what is the use? It's better to have high quality with less cost, right? That was your lean system. For that reason, a new concept came, what? Lean Six Sigma. All right. Okay. So limitation was huge cost is required. Huge infrastructure investment was required here. This was a complicated task, right? And not all product was meeting Six Sigma. It was focused on specific type of process, and it was not a real-time barrier remover, right? We need real-time remover. We need real-time barrier remover, but it was not a real-time barrier remover. I hope it is clear. See, I can see your doubt also. If you have any doubt, if you want to share something with me, please write in comment. Is it clear? What do you find? Which process is more good? According to you, which process you find more better? According to you, which process is more better? Can you write in comment? Which process you're finding more better? According to you, which process you find better? Lean or Six Sigma? Yes, tell me. Which process you find better? Lean or Six Sigma? Write in comment quickly. Which process you find better? Lean or Six Sigma? Yes, I can read your doubts also. So tell me quickly what you understood here. Which one is better, Lean or Six Sigma? Okay. Please write in comment. Na? I can see your doubts. I can see your, if you have any query, you can ask me. So it's better if you will reply me. Okay. So after that, what do we have the next topic? Huh. So Lean Six Sigma. Now the question comes, we have learned that Six Sigma was first implemented in USA in Motorola company. They have done huge investment, as we have learned that for the implementation of Six Sigma, we need huge cost. And you know, their shareholders were criticizing the company a lot, and the competitor, they were all criticizing them a lot, Motorola company. They were all criticizing Motorola for investing the money of the shareholder in such Six Sigma kind of thing, because they were believing it will result in a failure. It's of no use and it will result in failure, which is not good for the company. So they were all criticizing the company for this investment. But later on, this become very successful. And even the other company, they start adopting Six Sigma. And they have, you know, the company have implemented Six Sigma for the first time. They have incurred huge cost. Again, since it becomes successful, so they implemented Six Sigma again in the company. All right, and the company, they start producing defect-free units. So this actually happened in Motorola company. If you will study any case study about it, you will find that how interesting it is. All right, but still we have learned that even if you want to make comparison now, you will find that Japanese strategies was much better. All right, so for that reason, you can see Lean Six Sigma was introduced. Combination of both will be best. Okay. So because we want to minimize the cost, you can see that Six Sigma incurred huge cost, and we don't want to incur huge cost in the company. So you can see here that it was actually focusing on minimizing the cost. You can see Lean Six Sigma was actually focusing on minimizing the cost. So cost should be less and quality should be high. This should be the focus. Cost should be less and quality should be high, right? So that it can maximize the profit, better build better team, and increase the customer satisfaction. All right, this was Lean Six Sigma. So with this, we have complete Six Sigma. First Indian company that has adopted Six Sigma was Wipro. Wipro had first adopted, Wipro company have first adopted Six Sigma in India. All right. Okay, now the point is that let's do the next topic. I have questions, so I have list of questions. I want to complete these topic first. You can see just these topics are left. After that, we can take some questions. All right. In case if you have doubt, you can ask me. Next topic is process innovation. You can see now we are learning about the process innovation. We will learn about business process re-engineering. This will come under process innovation. And after completing this, our syllabus, this entire thing is complete. And then we will go back to where the numerical, we will practice some more numericals here. All right. Okay, give me 1 minute. All right. So process innovation. As we have learned here, that actually in the company, a company can have three type of improvement. Hai na? We have learned that a company can have three type of improvement. One is what? Minor improvement, continuous small improvement. Little by little, a little become a lot. This was their philosophy. Small changes, right? And we have learned about Six Sigma that was focused on drastic improvement. Like Motorola, they brought drastic improvement in the company, the quality product of the company. Now the next is what? Process innovation. or business process re-engineering. So if you will see here, in case of process improvement or business process re-engineering, it is what? A dramatic improvement in the company. This will bring a dramatic improvement in the company. All right, let's try to understand this. Dramatic improvement means what, ma'am? Dramatic means what? I'll give you example, by the way. I'll give you here example, but let's start it from the beginning, right? So you can see this is what your Kaizen. So in case of Kaizen also we focus on innovations. But what kind of innovation? Sorry, in case of Kaizen also we focus on improvement. But what kind of improvement? Small, small improvement, right? So for that reason, they're using the turtle here. And it represents what improvement should be very small, 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 small. But this improvement will one day will give you huge improvement in the company. And innovation is what? Dramatic improvement. All right. So these two symbols we are using here. So process innovation is what? You will see what is the core business. We implement the innovation process and our organization will become a new business, process innovation, right? So here we are focusing on significantly improving the organization and significant change in the company. In what type of change? Significantly changing the techniques of the company, equipment or software of the company. All right. Okay. So see, it is mentioned that innovation is not all these points. These points are not considered. We will not consider these points as an innovation. What is it, ma'am? Give me 1 minute. I'll show you. So we will not consider these points as. Okay. We will not consider these points as innovation. They are not innovation. This is not innovation. What are these points? First is when you are doing some changes. So you know changes means it will go to continuous improvement, small, small changes. Change is not innovation. Change is not innovation. Improvement is not innovation. When you are improving the organization, you can't say it is an innovation in the company. It is not process innovation. When you are increasing the capability in the company, ability to do something, it is not innovation. It is not process innovation. When you ceases to use, when you shut down any process or ceases to use any process, it is not innovation. When we replace any capital in the company, or when we extend any capital means, for example, company had machine M1 and M2, and company have placed more machine here, M3 and M4. So this means what? Extending the capital of the company. When you are extending the capital of the company, it is not process innovation. It's not process innovation. When you're replacing, for example, machine M4 is replaced by machine M5. When you are replacing the machine, it is not process innovation. Changes resulting purely from changes in factor pricing. So when you're changing some labor or physical capability of the company, it is not innovation. Customization, when you want to provide customization services, it is not innovation. When you want to give cyclical changes, right? Cyclical changes or seasonal changes is not innovation. Trading of new or significantly improved product are not considered innovation. Even they are saying if there is any significant improvement is not, even significant improvement is not innovation. See what is written here. Even significant improvement. Significant improvement in product are not innovation. Then what, ma'am? Dramatic improvement. Dramatically. When you improve the organization dramatically. So process innovation, new solution could fall under the following area. When your production process innovation, delivery process innovation, support service innovation. So they want to bring innovation in process of production, process of production. They want to bring innovation in the way they are delivering the good. And they want to bring innovation in customer services. So recently, what happened today morning, I was just looking through my LinkedIn profile. I saw a video where customer services was provided by artificial intelligence. You can imagine you're talking to some innovation when you are improving it with the help of artificial intelligence. This is actually a dramatic improvement. Why? Because this machine will replace so many humans. Can you imagine? An organization can have 5-10 service call centers people, those who are providing customer services. And these customer services are replaced by what artificial intelligence means, machine. So these people will become jobless. Because of this support service innovation, these people, those who are sitting in call centers, they will all become jobless. So support service innovation are also possible in the following area, including purchase, maintenance, accounting, right? Support services means services, support services, whatever you are providing, like customer services. Delivery, the way you are delivering the goods. So you can see the entire supply chain. Here they want to consider entire supply chain, the way you are buying the raw material from the supplier, the way you are transferring the goods to the production floor, the way you are transferring the goods from the production floor to the dealers, and dealer to wholesaler, and wholesaler to retailer, retailer to customer. How you are transporting the goods in this entire chain, right? How you are improving the entire supply chain. Okay. How you're improving the process of the company. And these should not be significant change. We need everywhere. In case of process of production, the way we are producing the goods, in case we are delivering the goods, and in case we are providing the services to the customer, everywhere we need dramatic improvement. It should not be a significant improvement. All right, it should be dramatic improvement. Acha, what is it, ma'am? Can you make it more clear? Let's try to see. See, I have a very good example. I don't want to jump straight to the example actually, but to explain this dramatic improvement, I have a very good example. Let's jump to the example. Okay, I'm just directly coming to the example. Then I'll explain the business process reengineering. So example of what? Dramatic improvement. So we have learned dramatic improvement can happen in 3 ways. First, you can improve the entire process, dramatically improving the entire process, dramatically improving the delivery. So delivery means like supply chain, dramatically improving the supply chain, and dramatically improving, the third point was services, support services. Dramatically improving everything. Now you can imagine, I'm just giving you an example of dramatically improving the process. So in case of Ford company, Ford was the first company, those who introduces a robot in their entire production line. So we have learned about the cellular manufacturing, where we introduce raw material here. The product will pass through these cells, working cell, gaining value at each stage. At the end, you will get final goods. This is what cellular manufacturing. We have learned about cellular manufacturing. So in case of cellular manufacturing, your raw material will pass through here, it will gain value from here, then it will pass through here, it will gain value from here, then it will pass through here, gain value at this stage, it will pass through here, gain value at this stage, and finally you will get a product. Now Ford has done what? Instead of using the human here, instead of using human in these working cells, Ford company, they have replaced their human. They have actually removed all these human from here. They have removed all these human here. And instead of human, they have introduced a robot here. Instead of using human, they have introduced robot. Instead of using human here, they have used robot at these places. So what was the work of the robot? So instead of human were engaged in production, now here what is happening? Robots are engaged in production. You can imagine how drastically the company have removed their employee from the organization. So this result in this implementation of robots here in entire cellular manufacturing result in removal of 70% employee of the company, 70% layoff in the company. This was result in 70% layoff. They have removed more than 70% employee in the company. You can imagine. Not 10%, not 5%, not 20%, not 30%. Instead, just by implementation of this robotic system in their cellular manufacturing, it result in what? So many people, you can imagine 70% of the people in Ford, they become all jobless, right? So this is dramatic improvement. I understand that this is not good. Obviously, when the people will become jobless is not good, right? I've given you the example. Now let's see that how we can implement the business process re-engineering in the company. Okay, how this happened, how the company implemented the dramatic improvement. It is not a one-step thing, right? If the company wants to implement dramatic improvement in the company, how it happened actually? Let's try to understand how this dramatic improvement happened in the company. So the question is that how dramatic improvement? We want to achieve what type of improvement? Dramatic improvement. And I have given you an example of what? I have given here an example of Ford company. So Ford has done what? They have implemented in the working cell, they have replaced the humans with robots. And because of that, more than 70% layoff. They have layoffs, more than 70% of employees from their company. This is dramatic improvement. Completely manufacturing is done by robots, not by humans. And you can imagine these days what is happening since the introduction of artificial intelligence, it is taking the jobs of so many people. They're actually taking the jobs. So like you can see customer services, for the customer services, I have recently I've taken, I watched that video where artificial intelligence is used for customer services, for cooking food in hotels, right? You know, in 5-star hotels, what is the salary of these chefs? The salary is around 5 crore. I mean, they get salary in crores. So the point is that the same food that was cooked by a chef, a very good chef, can be prepared by a machine through artificial intelligence. If this will happen, you can see that how many people will become jobless. But this will come under what? Dramatic improvement, because it is actually, the company is actually dramatically improving. This is not a minor improvement. This is not a change. This is actually a dramatic improvement. All right. So this is actually the example of dramatic improvement here. All right, now let's try to understand what is the business process re-engineering, that how we implement the dramatic improvement in the company, how we implement it. Okay, so what is business process re-engineering? What is written here? Do not automate, obliterate. Ab dekho, as I gave you the example of implementation of robot chef, where when we want to implement robot chef in 5-star hotels, 7-star hotels, when we want to implement robot instead of human chef, we are replacing them with robots. What will happen? Obviously, automation. When you want to implement robot in working cell of the company, when Ford company wants to implement robot and they want to replace the human with robot in the working cell of the company, what will happen? Obviously, automation. Automatic now, everything is done automatically. When the company wants to implement what? Artificial intelligence in customer services, machine is replying. Machine is actually talking to humans. Oh, sir, what is your problem? Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Okay, we can resolve it in this way. Machine is giving the solutions, right? Machine is talking to humans. What is it? Dramatic improvement. Automation. It is automation. But what is written here? Re-engineering doesn't mean automation, right? Don't automate, obliterate. First, obliterate everything, finish everything, and start from scrap. If you want, if you want to implement if you want to implement dramatic improvement in the company, right? So you have to start from the scratch. So you can see here, re-engineering means what? Don't don't automate. Do not jump on automating the things. Do not straight away jumping on automation of the things. Then what we have to do, ma'am, we have to first obliterate the existing process, right? And start from the scratch. And then when we are starting from the scratch, it will be what? A clean slate approach, right? And you will focus on improving everything in the organization. All right. Okay. Okay. I don't know that whether it is clear or not. I'll give you more clarification on it. So if you will see here, for the business process re-engineering, these are the 4th step. I'll explain later. I'm not explaining it right now. All right. Okay. Now I just want to discuss some point here. Okay, so let's understand some point here. So point is that this was first introduced, business process re-engineering was first introduced by Michael Porter. Okay, so Michael Porter was the first person who introduced this concept of business process re-engineering. You can see we have used this word earlier also, re-engineering. So this business process re-engineering was first introduced by Michael Hammer. He was ex-computer programmer. He was a computer programmer. What he introduced: do not automate. Don't jump on automation straight away. First, obliterate the existing process, right? So re-engineering means do not automate. Why? Now think about it. Why Michael Hammer is saying don't jump on automation? See, what he is writing here: automated a mess yield automated mess. So the point is that your existing process, your existing services is already a mess. It is already a mess. Okay? And when you will automate this mess, it will not give you a good option, good process. It will just give you an automated mess. This is what mentioned here, right? So automating a mess will result in automated mess. This is what written here. So what is mentioned here? Re-engineering means obliterate, finish everything, destroy everything what you have, completely destroy everything whatever you have, destroy entire factory, destroy entire process, remove all the employee, everything, destroy your current process, right? So obliterate what you have now and start it like you have started a new business. You have started a new way of producing the goods. Start it from the scratch. Transform every aspect of your organization, everything, transform everything in the company. All right, transform every. And now the question comes, ma'am, why he is focusing on destroying everything right now we have? Why, ma'am? This may result in increasing the cost, right? But for a reason, he's giving you this opinion. Why? For a reason. Okay. Okay, so this is a very good line I found on internet to explain this. Okay, see what is written here. It is written that many of our procedure were not designed. Why? See, the question comes here that why Michael Hammer is saying that destroy everything which you have right now. Destroy Destroy everything which you have right now. Destroy your existing factory. Destroy all your machine which you have right now. Destroy everything which you have right now. Why he's saying that? Because many of our existing procedure were not designed at all. They just happen. Abhi dekho, I'm just relating it with the word jugaad. Okay? And we use jugaad a lot in India. What is jugaad? So wherever, for example, I'm doing some work or I'm producing a goods, wherever I do not have any solution for any problem, I will implement jugaad. So I will implement some procedure which was not initially designed. So what will happen? The existing process may have many such jugaad. Existing process may have many such procedure that was not initially designed, right? So the point is that your existing process is already in a mess. Why he's calling your existing process is already in a mess? For a reason. Because in your existing process, there are many processes which you have not designed that actually happen itself. Because while you are producing the goods, you found the worker, they found some flaws, they found some weak area and they implement the जुगाड़. Okay, चल आज ऐसे नहीं ऐसे कर लेते हैं, कोई बात नहीं, कल देखा जाएगा. So actually that is not a permanent solution, right? So jugaad is not a permanent solution. All right. But we have implemented so many jugaad in the company, right? Jugaad means what? Procedure that was not initially designed, but you have implemented some procedure that was not initially designed, but to do the work, you have the workers have implemented it in the organization. So it is already in a mess. The existing company is already in a mess. So if you will focus here, what will happen? It will result in automated mess. All right. Okay. Okay. So what else we have? Give me 1 minute. So we have just learned that many of our procedure, initial existing procedure, we have not designed it. They just happen. All right. They just happen in the company. So we help companies challenging their own assumptions and building an amazing product. So now let's try to understand what are the steps of business process re-engineering. So these are the step of business process re-engineering. What is the first step? So the first step is fundamental rethinking. The second step is what? Radical redesigning. The third step is what? Dramatic improving the organization. And the fourth step is what? End-to-end business process. So what are these points? First is what? Fundamental rethinking. So here we will say existing process is a mess. Do not implement any artificial intelligence here. Do not implement any robot manufacturing, machine learning here. Destroy everything. Destroy the existing process. So this is what fundamental rethinking, right? Radical redesigning means implement the process in the company from scratch. Clean slate approach, right? So radical redesigning means redesign your entire process like a clean slate approach, like you have just started a new business, right? Redesign your business in such a way that you have just started a new business. Then what will happen? This will result in dramatically improving the organization. Your organization will not just improve, it will be dramatically improved, right? So these are the steps which we will study here. Okay, give me 1 minute, huh? In case if you have doubt, please ask in comment. If you have doubt, please ask your doubt in comment if you have any doubt. Yes, any doubt regarding lean system, business process re-engineering, anything, any question, if you have any doubt, any question in your mind. Okay, we will finish this, then we will take a break. Then after that, what we will do some questions. All right. Okay. So fundamental rethinking means what? Challenging your own assumption, building an so that you can build an amazing product. So when we follow the first step of business process re-engineering, we will try to understand why do we do what we do. Whatever you are doing, why are you doing it? Huh? Why do we do the way we are doing it? So we will ask these two questions. Why are we doing what we are doing? And why are we doing it in the way we are doing it? So these two questions we will ask during um, fundamental rethinking. Okay. Okay, let's do one thing. Okay, so we ask here a question that why we do what we do. Then what we will happen? Radically redesign. I told you in radically redesign, it will be what will happen here. We will redesign the entire process of the company. Okay, radically redesign means a clean slate approach. Okay, radically redesign. It is what? A fresh start, a clean slate approach. So here what will happen after examining the existing process of the organization, you will implement a clean slate approach, completely redesigning the entire process of the organization. And here we will implement the new automation process because we are redesigning the entire process of the organization. So here we will implement what? A new process in the company, the new way of producing the goods, we will implement it here. Right? So this will result in what? Dramatically, superficially improving the organization. Next is what? Achieving dramatic. So this will result in dramatic improvement in the company. All right. And now you know the difference between the improvements. So now they have also given the example of Ford company. That in case of Ford company, what will happen? They have implemented business process re-engineering in Ford company, and that has resulted in layoff of more than 70% employee in the company. You can see we have taken an example of Ford company, and implementation of business process re-engineering in Ford result in 75% layoff in the company. You can see the entire production process is now happening with the help of robots. You can see in this video, very less human efforts is required in this entire production process in case of Ford company. It is all done by humans. This all entire way of production was all done by humans. You can see here. This will be what? Dramatic improvement. Then what will happen? Re-engineering focus on end-to-end business process. Now, if you will see here, what is the meaning here? They're not focusing on hierarchy system. They are focusing on creating a team here. So you can see here, rather than individual activity that, so instead of focusing on individual activity, they are here actually focusing on team building. That's it. So you can see for business process re-engineering, the work will not be done in this way. They need a team performer, right? So you can see this is just an example of business process re-engineering. Earlier, the production process, delivery, demand, everything happened manually, but now they are using internet. They are using database for storage of information. They are using ERP. So you can see even implementation of ERP in the company was business process re-engineering. So before after. So before means before implementation of business process re-engineering, the production was all done by what without machine. Before implementation of business process re-engineering, production was all done by humans. The way of producing the goods, the way of delivering the goods, entire supply chain was all managed by the humans. But after business process re-engineering, they have implemented ERP, and you can imagine that how ERP have integrated the entire business process. It is possible to get the information on real time basis. Whenever you need the information, you will get the information. So the point is that this has integrated the entire business process, and that helped the organization to improve drastically, dramatically, right? So this is business process re-engineering. With this, we have complete all the topics, right, of your chapter. Now what we will do, I have list of question. I have taken some question from our material, and now after this we will solve the questions, right? I've taken some list of questions and we will solve them. All right, so you can see I've taken some list of questions. We will solve them, but before that, let's take a break. So let's take a break of 10 minutes. Hi, welcome back. So now we will practice some questions. So I have taken some question to practice. So we have learned all the topics of lean and innovation. So now let's practice some question on all these topics. So first I have taken 5S methodology, and let's try to solve a question on 5S methodology. All right. Let's try to solve the question on 5S methodology. So just in front of you, I have taken a question. Let me hide the answer. So this is the question we have. So I'll give you time. Just go through this question. Read it. Take your time. Take 1-2 minutes and read this question thoroughly. Try to read and understand each and every word here. Yes, read it thoroughly. All right. Okay, so we are implementing here 5S methodology. You know 5S methodology, right? We have learned about 5S methodology. What step we follow? First, sort. Sort means what? Remove unnecessary thing. Remove whatever is not relevant. Then second step was set in order. So give a place for everything. Then clean. What was the step name? Shine. Clean the place, right? Shine. So clean the place. Then set the standard and sustain. Set the standard, and the last step is to sustain it. So we have learned all these 5 points. First, we will remove all the things which are not required, all the data, all the file, everything which is not required in the organization. Then we will give the place for everything. Which thing should be placed where? So whether it should be kept near us or far away from us. So you will decide where we will keep what. So you will give a place for everything. Then third is what? You will keep cleaning, right? Cleaning is important. So whatever the place you have, the desk you have, storeroom, wherever you are implementing 5S methodology, you will keep cleaning them. Then you will set a standard for it, and then you will sustain it. Point is that if you will see, 5S methodology is applicable everywhere. It is applicable in storeroom. It is applicable in storeroom. It is applicable in case of your desktop in your computer. You can apply it in your computer also, right? You can see 5S methodology, you can apply everywhere, right? So now let's try to read this question and let's try to understand what they're trying to ask us. Okay. So this question came in May 2018 revision test paper. Are a chartered accountant offers a wide range of specialization, multidisciplinary professional services to meet the immediate as well as long-term business need of clients. So what is happening? A CA is performing his duty, and he's rendering his services for both immediate. He is fulfilling the immediate need of the client, and he's focusing on providing the long-term services to the client. Then what is happening? One partner, E, was upset with office documentation. One of the partners is not happy. He's upset with the way they are documenting, right? Point is that, in a CA firm, you all are chartered accountant. Obviously, you are all training under somewhere, right? So I believe that you all know CA firm, and you must have seen that CA need documentation for everything. They kept the document of everything. It is very important to keep document for everything. Yeah. Now the point is that one of the partner of the CA firm is not happy with the way they are keeping the document. the way they are keeping the document. You know that 5S methodology we implement for organizing the workplace. We implement the 5S methodology to organize our workplace. Now what is happening, one of the partner is not happy with the way of organization of the document. Though you know that a CA firm need document of everything, they need to keep a document of everything. So what is happening here, they are not happy with the way of keeping the document. Okay, then what is happening? So he argued that document management solution is needed to maximize the efficiency of the firm. Now he believed that the firm is not efficient. The way the company is performing their work is not efficient. They're not working efficiently. This is what he is believing. And how it can be improved, how the efficiency can be improved. So Mr. E, a partner of the CA firm, he believes that if they organize the document, the process of keeping the document in the company, in the CA firm, the process they are keeping the document in CA firm, if they organize this process, what will happen? It will increase the efficiency of their CA firm. Okay. The senior partner, Mr. Ram, has recently attended a seminar on lean system and heard about 5S methodology. So one of the senior partner, he heard about 5S methodology. He said, old file, hide the key files from the IE and force staff to ask the questions accordingly. Accordingly, he desired to implement 5S methodology. Abhi dekho, what I told you, that for example, if the company do not have 5S methodology, if a company don't have 5S methodology, what will happen? You are actually not removing the old file. So what will happen? Your old file will hide the new files. Old file may hide the relevant file. So what will happen when I want to work something, I'm not getting the exact file on which I want to work. So what will happen? Definitely I'll ask the question, sir, where is this file? Sir, I need file of this client. Where is the file of this client? Point is that why are you asking this question? Because your document is not properly organized. Because the documentation process is not organized. So the point is that he argued that old file actually hiding the new files or the key important files. Old file is hiding the important file on which we want to work, right? So the point is that there is need to implementation of 5S methodology here. All right. Okay, so before you see the explanation, you can write it entirely at your own, right? It is so easy to answer it. So these are actually the key word which I wrote here. These are all keywords, right? So when you will write the answer for this question, first see for how many marks it is coming in exam. I believe that the marks for this question will be 5 marks. So what step you have to write in exam? First, write that we implement the 5S methodology to organize the workplace. All right. We use it to organize the workplace, and the company is facing actually a problem. What? The documentation is not. 5S methodology is used to organize the workplace. So what will happen? So for that reason, you will first write it, that it will organize the workplace. Then you will write these steps. What are these steps? Sort, Siri. You don't need to learn the Japanese word. You can learn the English word we have. So first is what? Sort. Second is set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. All right. So these are the words you can write. First is what? Sort. Sorting means what? Remove unnecessary file. Remove unnecessary files. Remove all the files which is not required, which is not desirable from the company. Files which is not required, remove them from the company. So like I am a teacher, so I need to organize my laptop, this computer or desktop. So, I'm a working professional. I take so many training sessions. So every time when I give the training session, and if I'm using any file or Excel sheet, And I know that it will not be required in next session. So what I do immediately after the session, I delete those files. I never keep all such files. Why? Because it is the way you should always follow. So to organize your workplace, you should always follow these steps. First step, if you don't need something, remove them immediately, right? If you find something which is not at all relevant for your process, right, remove them immediately, remove them. So first step is what? Remove everything which is not relevant for the production. Remove everything which is not relevant for providing the services. So here what will happen? First step is remove. Second step is what? Set in order. Then what will happen? After removing everything, you have only the relevant thing which is required. Give the place for everything. Set in order, right? Second one is what? Set in order. Now, when you will do this set in order, what will happen? You will decide hot site and cold site. We have these words in our syllabus: hot site and cold site. So what will happen here? Hot site means you will keep all those things which is frequently required, right? All the data, all the document, all the power presentation, whatever is frequently required, keep them near you, right? You can use them easily. And which is not frequently required, once in a while is required, keep them away from you. So create such hot site and cold site. In hot site, keep the files which is regularly required, and in cold site, keep the files which is not regularly required. So set a place for everything, give a place for everything, set in order, right? Next is what? After giving the place for everything, shine. Shine means keep on cleaning everything. Sorry. Next is shine. Keep cleaning everything, right? And it is the responsibility of those who are working to keep clean everything, right? And next is what? Set an order. Sorry, standard. Set a standard. And the last one is what? After standard, the last point is what? The last fifth point is what? Sustain. So we have to follow these 5 steps, right? So you can see we have these 5 steps. All right, you can read them and you can answer it accordingly, right? Sort. So you can remove unnecessary files, paper, books, document in the work area where it is not required. Sorting is designed to make work area neat and clean, right? Organizing the place, arranging the place. If you will sort it, it is easy for you to keep the place neat, organized, and arranged so that only relevant item is in the workplace. And you can find the relevant item easily. An item is not relevant in workplace, you can remove them from the workplace. Next is set in order. Set in order means you will arrange the workplace in such a way that you are giving the place for everything, right? Set in order means systematically arrangement of the things. Arrange all necessary item into most efficient and accessible arrangement, easy to access. So I've given you an example. The file which is every day needed, keep them near you. The file or document which is not required every day, once in a while, keep them away from you. So give a place for everything. So you have seen, like, when we create different folders, we name the different folders. In respective folders, we keep the files, right? And we may create subfolders also. So in this way, we are giving the space for everything. And when you work, your CA will always advise you, keep this file in this folder. Keep this file in this folder. So in this way, whenever you are working, you know that in which folder you will keep which file, right? So in this way, you know that you are giving the place for everything. So this will come under set in order. Then shine means it is necessary to keep the work area clean and safe. Shining is also inspection of process for the area. Is everything is going good? Good condition, so you will check everything. Then you will keep a standard so that everyone should follow those standards, and then sustain those standards, whatever the standard you have set here. So this is how you have to answer it. You can see it is very easy to answer, right? Not a rocket science. All right, now next question. You can see this question was This question came in 2020 RTP 5S methodology, right? Let's see the question. Let's read the question. I'll give you again a time to read it, and then we will discuss it. Okay. Take your time, take 2-3 minutes, read it thoroughly, then we will discuss it. Read it thoroughly. I'll give you time. Please read this question, then we will discuss this question. Read the question thoroughly. Yes, please read the question thoroughly, then we will discuss it. If you have doubt, you can ask me in Q&A, and I request you all to read the question thoroughly, then we will discuss. Okay, so let's discuss the question. So what is happening? I'll read this question for you. We will read it together. We will try to understand it. We will try to see what we have to write in the answer, right? Okay, let's do this. So Pavilion. So what is happening? Pavilion Limited deals in manufacturing of cycle. The company is actually manufacturing cycle. Recently, apart from manufacturing cycle, P Limited entered into a business of assembling the electronic bikes. So earlier, previously, the company were manufacturing the cycles. Now the company is manufacturing on assembly of electronic bikes. Okay, since P Limited did not expand the factory area, they have not expanded the area. They have limited area in which now they have started a new business of assembly of electronic bikes, right? So they P Limited did not expand the factory area post starting assembly of electronic bikes. They have started a new business, but they have not expanded their area. Hence, the production floor largely remain over occupied. Obviously, because the area, they have not expanded the area. So for that reason, it will always remain preoccupied. Production area will always remain over-occupied. Over-occupied means, you know, that now the raw material is more, area is limited. So it will be over-occupied with all sort of material, jigs, tools. Some of them are frequently useful. Some of other are less often, and some of them are very often. So the point is that actually, if you will see, there are 3 categories of material required. One is material which is very frequently required. Second one is sometime required. And third is very often required, very rarely required material. So actually, if they are watching that, their inventory is of 3 types, their all material requirement is of 3 types. All right, okay. Worker usually complain that all the category of jigs tools are not available. Ab dekho, though they have the material in the, you know, their room, they have the material, they have everything, but still worker, they are not easily to identify, right? It is very difficult for them to identify what is required for them for the production. So it's not easy for them to identify it. So what is written here? They generally complain that all category of the material, tools, jigs are not available. Okay. Those belongs to product design and which are outdated. And tools which are available are what belongs to product design which are outdated. Matlab, what is required is not available, and what is not required is available to them. है ना? So this is what happening there. Okay? What is not required what is actually required by the labor is not, they are not able to find it. Not able to find it. Right? And what is not required, they're able to find it easily. They're able to find it very easily, which is not required. All right. Next. It can be said that they are not accessible because worker pick the tools from the toolkits and tool board, but not place in back. Ab dekho, there is a complaint of floor manager. Floor manager is complaining when the worker take the tool, they do not keep the tool in the same place. मतलब use किया कहीं पे भी डाल दिया. Right? They are not following any standard, that means. है ना? So this is what the manager, the floor manager is actually complaining. Floor manager have the opinion, right? Ki instead of you should not say that the material is not available. Don't say that ki material is not there. Say, instead of saying material are not available, they can say they are not accessible. There is difference between these two words, right? So this manager, floor manager is saying, don't say that material is not available. Not available. Right? This complaint is wrong. Material is already there in the floor. So don't say that material is not available. Say material is not accessible. Matlab, material is already there, but we are not able to find it. There is difference between these two words, right? Not available means material is not at all there in the premises, right? But floor manager is saying material is there in the premises, you are not able to find it. So don't complain that material is not available. Say material is not accessible. So this is what written here. You should complain it in this way, right? The complaint should be material is not accessible, right? Okay. Because worker, and what is the reason? Because the worker, when they pick up the tools, they do not keep the tool in the same place. Hence, it become difficult to locate such tool later, because obviously they are not in their place. So later on, it will be difficult to find the same tool, right? And by other worker, right? So on name of maintenance department, there are only 2 staff member who are responsible for ensuring every machine and equipment must be running order. This is something related to preventive maintenance. We have learned that we do not need engineer to maintain the machine. We will train our employee and the worker to maintain the machines. So instead of depending upon the engineer, we will depend upon the operator, those who are actually working on machines. So here actually they are talking about the machines. Okay, let's learn it. Let's read it. So what is mentioned here? On name of maintenance department, there are only 2 staff members who are responsible to ensure every machine and equipment must be running order and effective. Due to shortage of staff in maintenance department, requests of repair of plant and machinery are not handled within the responsible time frame. And the same will result in sharp deterioration of the utility effectiveness of such plant and machinery. Even in some circumstances, replacement becomes or remain only alternate. Oh, let me try to explain this point to you. What is written here, ma'am? So the point is that company have the production floor, right? So in production floor, company have different working cell where the workers are working, right? These workers are working. But since these so many workers are working here, right? Now the point is that company can be very big in size and so many workers are working here. But the point is that they have mentioned you that there are only two staff members who can maintain the machine. So obviously, if there will be any downtime of the machine, failure of machine, what will happen? These people will help to correct the errors, right? If there is any failure of machine, these 2 people will help to overcome those problem. All right. Now, the point is that you can imagine a company can have thousands of employees, thousands of workers. I have seen the plant of, I have seen a plant of Maruti, and you will amazed to see इतने लोग कहाँ से आते हैं. Such a crowd. I was so, I mean, when I saw it first time, I was scared. I mean, so many people, right? So the point is that you can imagine in a company, so many workers are working. It is very difficult for two people to handle all the machines. For that reason, we have learned about total productive maintenance, where we train the operator. These operators should be trained enough to maintain their own machine, so that it will be preventive maintenance, not a corrective maintenance, right? So that it will become preventive maintenance, right? So the point is that this is actually, they are actually facing this problem that two people are not enough to maintain the machine. Obviously, company can have a very big size and 2-3 engineer are not enough to maintain the machine. Then what is the solution? Train the operator, right? What I'm saying, train the operator. Right? So all these workers should be trained enough to maintain their own machines. All right. So this is the problem the company is facing. This is also one of the problems the company is facing. Okay, next. P Limited has responsible standard. P Limited has reasonable standardized operating procedure for manufacturing cycle business. Okay, they have a standard how they can manufacture the cycle, but scenario is worse in case of assembly of electronic bike. So you know the company is engaged in two business. We have learned it at the beginning of the question that the company manufacture the cycle, and second business is what it's a new business that the company is starting assembling electronic bike. This is a new business, right? Now the company is expanding their product, but they are not expanding the area for the production. They have the limited area. Within the limited area, they are producing the cycle. Now they want to assemble the bikes also in the same limited area. Now see what is happening here. Scenario is worsen in case of assembly of electronic bike. So in case of assembly of bikes, the scene is worse. Since P Limited is recently entered into assembly of electronic bike, like hence key performance indicators are not established for all the factors. So the point is that abhi KPI is not fixed here. KPI is not fixed here, which are part of assembly process, including critical success factors. Okay. At P Limited, the attrition rate of senior management position is quite high. Attrition means senior management, they quit their job very frequently. A new senior management is coming, they're working for some time period and they quit the job. Then a new person is coming, they're working for some time period and then they quit the job. So this attrition rate is very high here. No formal hierarchy tree is established, okay, which result in drastic shift of workplace culture due to frequently changing role and responsibility. You can imagine the organization is not having a stable working culture. You know why? Because the senior management, they keep on changing their positions, they keep on resigning from their jobs, right? Okay. In regard to safety of, ab dekho kitni sari problem the company is facing, right? You can imagine so many problems I can see here in the company, right? Next problem is what? Now, health of the employee. Next problem is related to health. We have learned that how we can improve the health by total productive maintenance, focus on health of the employee also. So what is the next problem? In regard to safety of the man and material, it will come under health, right? P Limited is on front foot, taking all reasonable care, which is essential for the purpose of eliminating any possibility of workplace accident. No accident should be accepted, right? We have learned we don't want any accident in the company. But assembly of line electronic vehicle witnessed the accident recently. Oh, so before assembly of electronic bike, they have a process of manufacturing of cycles. So it is mentioned their workplace was so good that earlier, previously, when there was one business, cycle manufacturing business, they had faced no accident in the company. But recently, when the company have expanded their business, introduce a one more line segment of producing electronic bike, recently they have faced they have witnessed an incident of accident, worker accident in the company, right? Where one vehicle during assembly caught fire, because wire set of vehicles comes into exposure of sparking from the light point near such assembly line. So assembly line mein there is an accident for the new product electronic bike. Now what is happening? Such fire causes burn of some of the other material also, okay, which are lying near such assembly line, okay. Post such incident, CEO call after this incident, after this accident, what happened? The CEO of the company calls a meeting with all the top tier executives. Then what is happening? Majorly including production and operation managers. So recently CEO has done a meeting with what? All the top tier executive of the company, and which includes what? The production manager and the operational manager. Now what is happening? Safety of the staff, मेंटेनेंस स्टाफ एंड स्टोर मैनेजर. देखो तीन प्रॉब्लम है यहाँ पे, राइट. अपार्ट फ्रॉम मैनेजमेंट अकाउंटेंट, दे आर ऑल रिस्पॉन्सिबल, राइट. ड्यूरिंग द मीटिंग while production and operation manager highlights some of the problem area and management accountant quoted what 5S solution to all the problem. देखो प्रॉब्लम क्या क्या थी, what I can find. The problem was related to production. Two people are not enough to maintain the machine. Total productive maintenance is required to implement here. You know, total productive maintenance will help to remove all the accident from the company, right? Okay. And what is happening before that? The workplace is not organized, right? To organize the workplace, we need what? Organize the workplace, we need 5S methodology, right? But we have learned, if you want to implement total productive maintenance, right? You can see here we want to, actually the company wants to implement total productive maintenance also, because the second problem and the third problem will resolve only. This is the second problem of the company and this is the third problem of the company. So the second problem and the third problem of the company will only resolve if the company will implement TPM, total productive maintenance. And I hope you remember, for the implementation of TPM, we should first implement 5S methodology. And so if you remember, we have learned about the model of TPM, zero defect, zero mistake, and zero accident. And we have 7 pillars, 8 pillars. And the base of 8 pillar was what? 5S methodology. First, we implement 5S methodology. Right. So base was what? 5S methodology. So for that reason, the CEO asked management accountant, देखो, problem is related to productive maintenance. But for the implementation of productive maintenance, you have to first implement 5S methodology. Okay? I hope it is clear what I'm trying to explain you. Now, what is happening? The CEO asked management accountant to be ready with report and presentation on 5S methodology. There is need of what? First, 5S methodology, which can highlight the operational aspect of 5S. You are deputy management accountant and asked by him to prepare a case. And here you have to prepare what? A report on 5S methodology. Here we have to prepare a report on 5S methodology. All right. In favor of implementing applying 5S methodology at P Limited, explaining the expected benefit of implementation of 5S methodology, right? So what is happening? We have to prepare a report here. All right, we have to prepare a report here. So you can see here, I'm just taking the explanation straight. We are just considering the explanation here. So the company wants to implement 5S methodology. You know, they have limited space, but you know, even in limited space, you can work very well. Even if you have limited space in your work area, but if you organize it, it is possible to, you know, work efficiently. So what is happening? 5S is what? Is a scientific way of workplace management so that work can perform effectively, efficiently, safely. So if you want your workplace to be effective, efficient, and safe, what do you want? Implement 5S methodology. You know, it was first introduced by Toyota Production System, Toyota company. I'm repeating this again and again, right? I have repeated it many times that 5S methodology, Kaizen costing, lean system, everything was first introduced in Toyota company. All right. So 5S methodology is, you see, this is something you can write at your own. You don't need to learn anything, right? This is something written in your book and you can write it at your own. You know that we implement 5S methodology to organize the workplace. You know the steps, right? Sort, set in order, and shine, standard, and sustain. You know all those five point. You can write about it, right? Okay, then sorting me, you can write all these point. Remove, we have these category of the product, right? You can see up in the question that we have 3 category of the product. I have marked it, right? You can see the company have 3 category of the product. One, the product which is frequently required. Second, the product which is some often required. Third, other less often material required. And fourth, even more rarely required. So actually they have 4 category of the material. You can see they have 4 category of the material requirement. So accordingly they have sorted them, right? Sort means you will find the item which is not at all required, remove them from the organization, not needed at all, to be moved to red tag area. Red tag means from there you will remove them completely from the organization. Needed but not now, need to remove them, store with a yellow tag. Okay, we will give different tag to these product. Needed but not here, you will remove it to red tag area. Needed but not as much as quantity. So they have created the 4 category. Okay, then you will find what is required, how much required, when it is required, where it is required. You will try to find the answers of these questions. And see, they have created these type of tag, red tag and yellow tag. Red tag means a card contain detailed information of unwanted things, which is not required. You will give them red tag. Okay, with a given time limit, you will put the time limit within which they should be keep in the company, or after that time it should be removed from the company or the organization. So in red tag, you will these information will be contained. Okay, and then we have yellow tag. So yellow tag means the item which is required in the company. So there are some items which are frequently required. There are some items which are not very frequently required. So you will, accordingly, you will give them place, right? Then set in order. You will set the item in order, red tag, yellow tag, green tag, blue tag, depending that whether it is not at all required, required very rare, and or frequently required, once in a while is required. Accordingly you will give them different tag. And with the tag it is possible, okay, if you're watching a tag, okay, these red wala item not at all required, remove them from the organization. Okay, these white item is very frequently required, keep it near where you are producing the goods. So in this way, with the help of the color, you can find the product very immediately. Okay, you can easily find those products, right? Then shine, keep cleaning your work area, then set a standard, then sustain. So you can see all these points are written here. They have considered one more point in 5S methodology. They have considered 1S more. Now it is 6S methodology. You can see, because this is one additional point, you should remember it. And the 6th point is related to what? Safety. So sort, set in order, shine, standardize, sustain, and the last point here they are considering is what? Safety of the workers, right? Those who are working in the organization. So accordingly they have prepared what? A report on 5S methodology. You can see it is so easy to answer these questions. So what you have to do, I mean, if you will say, this is something I have explained many times when I have taken these sessions. I've explained this many times, that when you are writing these essay question, now you will have to consider 3 information. First, when I'm writing the answer, when I'm writing the answer of these essay question, you can see, first you have to write some point from the question itself. You can see some of the points will be coming from the question, right? Then some of the point is as it is theory or the concept of the book. as it is theory of the book or as it is concept of the book, then some of the point will relate the question with answer. So when you are writing the answer, you should keep these points in your mind. Some of the points will come from the question as it is. Some of the point you have to write it from the concept in the book. So these two things is so easy to write, right? And the third one, you need to apply your brain, right? Third point, you have to write how the question is related to the concept. You have to answer it in this way. All right. Okay. Okay, let's do one more question. Okay, so now I have total productive maintenance related question. This question in last session, though we have done, but after the session, I saw that you have many doubts on this question. So I have taken this question again. I'll expect you all to read it. Try this question at your own first, then I'll help you. All right, solve this question. Read this question, try to solve it, and give me the answer. Okay, so the point is that whenever you want to solve these questions, first keep this diagram in your mind, right? So I have taken this diagram just for you. And when you want to solve these questions, keep this diagram in your mind, right? Okay. So I'm repeating the same question, I know, for a reason, because it's an important topic. And in last session, I have seen that the student have many doubts in this topic. So for that reason, I have taken this question again. Now, see, this diagram, you have to keep it in mind. Okay. So first is what? Planned operation time. So worker, if working is for 8 hours, it is what? Planned production time. Planned operation time. Right? If the worker will work for this hour, it is what? Planned operation time. Then what is happening? Planned production time and planned shutdown time is different. So out of 8 hours, for example, I'm assuming, I'm just taking an example. So in 8 hours, I know the worker will take some lunch break. He will take tea break, right? So this is what, this is unavoidable. You cannot avoid it. You can't say worker that nay, you will not eat any lunch, you will not take any breakfast. Without taking breakfast, without lunch, without tea, you have to work completely for 8 hours. This is not possible. So the point is that you're allowing the work to work, you are allowing the worker to work, and you're giving them a break of lunch and tea. This lunch and tea break will be considered under planned shutdown. This is already planned that the worker will not work for this time period. This is what? Planned shutdown. So what will happen? 8 hours will include this break plus the operation. the planned production time. What we have planned, ki, okay, we expect the labor will take 30-minute break and he will work for 7 hour 30 minutes. 30 minutes is the break for labor. He will definitely take it. And we are allowing, okay, worker will take a break of 30 minutes or 1 hour. In this way, you will give a break to the worker. Okay. And he will work for remaining time. Okay, okay. After that, what will happen when he is actually working for remaining time, 7 hour 30 minutes? What will happen? There will be some downtime loss. Okay, downtime loss means we have learned this in last session that we need some time to set up the machine. You know, this is something, or during the production process, there is for some time machine is not working. That will come under downtime loss. So worker will work 7 hour 30 minutes, but for example, for 20 minutes, it is taking setup time to set up the machine. So what will happen? It will slow down the production process. You know? So obviously worker will work for run time, operation time. Obviously, now the worker will work for 7 hour 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Then after that, what will happen? Maybe there will be speed loss. Speed loss means the worker has become tired. You know, we do not remain efficiently same way in entire day. Even if you are a student, you can observe that you cannot study with the same pace for entire one day. So obviously, when you're working, you cannot work completely with the same pace. So there will be some speed loss. So net operating time, we will calculate the net operating time. So for example, there will be 30 minutes of speed loss. So the worker will having net operating time of 6 hour 40 minutes. So in this way, the things is happening here. Plan operation time is designed here. All right. Now let's try to solve this question here. Let's try to solve this question. Let's read this question, and in this question, let's see how we can solve it. All right. Okay, so what is given here? This company is a pharmaceutical company, is producing medication, pills, balms, etc., and can be called high volume based production environment. There are several different automated production machines located in plant through which production of machines is accomplished and fulfill the demand. The plant operation is double a shift. Okay, operation is what? Two shift. One day have two shift. Okay. And one shift is how many? Is for 8 hours. Okay. And in one shift, 30 minute lunch break and 15-minute tea break is allowed. All right. And you can see 8 hours can be written into 8 into 60 minutes. 480 minutes. Right? So this is the total, what you can see, this is what plant operation time is, 480 minutes. Total time a worker will give to the work. Plant shutdown time, you can see here, the plant shutdown time is what? 30-minute lunch break plus 15-minute tea break. Right? So what will be the remaining time if 30 minutes will be lunch break and 15 minutes will be tea break? What will be the remaining plant production time this time? So what will you do? 480 minus 30 minus 15. What is it coming? Yes, what is it coming? Can you help me? Write in comment what this value will be coming. 480 minus 435. So this time is 435. You know, this is coming as 435, right? Okay, after this, what do we have? Breakdown or repair or startup time. We have learned, right? Setup time, breakdown, startup time. This is downtime. This will come under downtime. So there is a downtime of how many minutes? 68 minutes. So we know that this planned production time, this time is equal to sum of these two values. है ना? We know plan production time is equal to what? Plan production time is equals to run time plus downtime, right? Okay, so what is the run time here? We don't know. We know downtime 68 minutes. Acha, just see whether it is for one shift or two shift. We have to check. So this is actually for two shift. So for one shift, it will be 34 minutes. 68 minutes is for two shift, right? So let's make it for one shift. Downtime will be 34 minutes. Now, planned production time is what? 435 minutes. Right? So run time will be coming as what? Run time 435 minus 34 is what? Okay. So what is it? 435. Oh, I'm so sorry. So 435 minus 34. This is coming as what? 401. All right. So that means your run time is 401 minute. All right. Now what else is given? Standard time is what? 2.5 minute per tablet. How many good tablet we are producing? So total production is 280 unit, and total production good unit production is what? 280 minus 50, 230 units. These are the goods which we are producing of good units, right? Now, what is happening here? It is given that cycle time, standard time for the production is what? 2.5 for one unit. So here, how many good unit we are producing? 230 units. So what is the standard time for the production here? If you multiply them, what is it coming? Right? So this is coming here. Give me 1 minute, huh? Okay. Yes, one more thing here. These are the production for two shift. You know, these are the units which we are producing for two shift. All these information are related to two shift, right? So we have to find how many units we will produce in one shift, right? So in one shift, total unit will be 140 units and total loss will be 25 units. This will be the loss in one shift. You know, so total good unit, total production we are doing in one shift, because we are everything we are considering for one shift. You know? We will everything we are considering here for one shift. So total production is what here? Total production is 140 tablets. Out of 140, 25 are the defective tablets. So how many good unit of tablet we are producing here? I think it is coming as 115. Okay, 140 units of tablet. Now what is happening? 115 units of tablet. You know, 2.5 minute is required for one unit into 115 tablet. So you will find how much time is required, standard time. How much standard time is required here? 115 into 2.5. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah. So we will find the time here and give me 1 minute. And we will use it for finding the value of availability, performance, and quality, right? Okay. So here we will consider how many good total units we are producing, 140. We will consider it here and we will find the standard time, which will be coming as 350 minutes. Okay. So this net operating time will be 350 minutes. All right. Okay. And what are the quality loss is 25 units. And the final product which we are producing here is 115 unit, which is good unit, right? Total production is 140 units. These are the information, just the information we have extracted. Now with the help of these information, how we can solve the question? Just give me 1 minute, huh? I'm just trying to do something. Okay. Okay, so now let's find these ratio, availability, performance, and quality ratio here with these information, right? Okay, so first one is availability ratio. How we will find the availability ratio? We will consider this value divided by this value, right? So 401 divided by 435. This will be availability ratio. Performance ratio by the total units which we are producing, just consider them, find the answer, right? Okay. So first we have to consider what? 401 divided by 435. Divide by 435. If you have doubt, please ask your doubt, right? This will be coming as 92.18%. Okay, performance ratio is what? 350 divided by 401. It is 7.28%. And the third one is quality is what? 115 divided by 140. So this is what? 82.14%. Right? Now we have to find OEE, right? So OEE can be calculated by multiplying these values, right? So OEE is what? Availability into performance into quality. So availability is how much? 92.18%. Performance is what? Performance is your 87.28%. And quality is what? 82.14%. Just multiply them. So this will be what? 92.18 into 87.28 into 82.14 divided by 10,000. It will be 66.09%. This is OEE. We have learned the standard OEE for the organization is 85%. Beyond that, it is not possible to achieve OEE. That means every organization will have some kind of losses, right? If you will see, for calculating OEE, we have considered these type of losses. Planned shutdown is something every organization will have. You will allow break to your employee. Lunch break will be allowed. Tea break will be allowed. Without that, employee cannot work. So for that reason, this loss cannot be avoided. Similarly, setup time is something which is required for the production. You cannot avoid it. So there are some losses you can see here which you cannot avoid no matter how good business strategy you are following. For that reason, when we use it to calculate OE ratio, it will not go beyond 85%. This is the standard. You cannot attain more than this OE. It is not possible to attain OE beyond this. Let's do one more question. Let's get more clarity over it. Okay. Let's do one more question. I've taken some more questions here. Okay. But for that, I need this diagram. Always remember, whenever I solve these questions now, I use this diagram because this help you to solve the question very easily. So when you're solving the question, take this diagram and then solve the question. You'll find it easy to answer, easy to find the answers and, to answer it easily. Okay, this question. Let's do this one. Okay, give me 1 minute, huh? I just want to take that picture because without that, it is not possible to answer it. Okay, give me 1 minute. It is not allowing me to copy this. Shit. Oh, okay, 1 minute. Okay, so I'll use this picture to solve this question again. Okay, let's read the question first, then we will try to solve it. Okay, what is the question? Goldie Company Limited manufactures spare parts. Okay, it works two shift. So the company is working in two shift, and in one shift there is 8 hour. 8 hour means what? 8 into 60 minutes, right? Which means 480 minutes. In one shift, the worker is working for 480 minutes, right? In a day. And it is working for 6 days in a week. Lunch break is for 45 minutes. Other miscellaneous break is up to 25 minutes. So you can see this is what planned shutdown. You allow the lunch to the employee. Lunch is for 45 minutes. You allow it to the employee. Other miscellaneous break like tea break, coffee break, whatever, you allow it to the employee is 25 minutes. It is for 25 minutes, right? Then what is happening? The following details are collected for the last 4 weeks by the total productive maintenance team for one of their important equipment. Hours of planned preventive maintenance is 15 minutes per shift. For breakdown maintenance, 360 minutes, right? Okay, so you can see planned preventive maintenance. They are taking 15 minutes for planned preventive maintenance, right? Okay, then what do we have? Total setup changes. And see, this is the information for 4 week actually. Read the question. This information is for 4 week, right? So let me write it here. In 4 week, how many shift do we have? Let's first see. So you can see in 1 week, they have a shift of 6 days, and in each day they have two shift. In each day they have two shift, and in 1 week they have 6 days. So this is what in 1 week they have this many number of shift. Okay, when we have 4 week, how many shift do they have? 6 into 2 into what? 4. So this will be 48 shift in 4 week. In 4 week, they have 48 shift. They have actually all these information is related to 4 week information, right? 4 week, or you can say 48 shift. All these information is related to that. Okay, so what is happening in 4 week? What is happening? First, they have what? Plan preventive maintenance. Okay. Achha, this is for one shift given. Breakdown. What is it? 360 minute. This is for entire 48 shift, right? So if you divide it with 48, you will get shift. If you will divide it with 48, you will get breakdown in one shift. If I want to find everything in one shift. In one shift, I'm finding the information for one shift. So 360 divided by 48 shift, you will get information for one shift breakdown, right? Next is what? setup changes. Setup changes. What is it? 900 minute. This is for 48 shift. So you will find it for one shift. Then what do we have? Total failure, 240 minutes. Power failure. Power failure is what? 240. And you have 48 number of shift. You will get this information also. Right? That's it. We have these information here. All right. Okay. Now find it for one shift. Find these value for one shift and tell me what is the answer coming here. Find it for one shift and please tell me what is it coming here. Acha. Okay. So what is it coming here? Tell me quickly. Okay, for these three value. And just remember here I have not considered plan preventive maintenance 15 minutes because plan preventive maintenance will go here 15 minutes. It is all planned. Lunch is planned, break is already planned, and for the total preventive maintenance, productive maintenance, the time period required for preventive maintenance is always planned, right? Planned that we will waste this time, and this is a planned time that yes, we will give 15 minutes on maintaining the machine, maybe greasing, oiling, right? Tightening the loose, visual inspection of the machine. So you will spend, the operator will spend 15 minutes on all these things: visual inspection of the machine, oiling, greasing of the machine, tightening the loose bolt of the machine. He will spend this much time here. All right. So this is the time he will spend here. Okay. Okay. Now these are what? These are all your what type of downtime. This is all downtime losses, but I need them in minute for one shift. So for that reason, I have just considered all the information here in this way. If you want to make it short, you can just add these value and divide it with 48, whatever feels, whichever take less time. Okay, let's do it quickly. 360 divided by 48. This will give you 7.5 minute. Then what you have, 900 divided by 48. 18.75. Then what we have, 240. 240 divided by 48. 5. Okay. Or you can do it in this way. You can just add all these values and you can find it, right? 360 plus 900 plus 240. You can just consider these values and then divide it with 48. You can do it in that way also. All right. Okay. Now add these values, the values which we have calculated here, add them. Okay. So your downtime loss is what? 7.5 minute plus 18.75 minute plus 5 minute. This is your downtime. So you have to find availability ratio. How we can find the availability ratio? Availability ratio is equal to what? Runtime divided by planned production time. If you want to find out the runtime, you know planned production time minus downtime will be your runtime. And if you want to find out the planned production time, it will be planned operation time minus shutdown time. Planned shutdown time will give you planned production time. So you can see the worker is actually working 8 hours. That means the worker is working for 480 minutes. This is the total time for which the worker will work, right? The worker will work for 480 minutes. Now, out of this 480 minutes, you know for this time, he will take planned shutdown. So from 480, if I minus 45, 25, and 15. If I minus these value, I'll get what? If from total time 480 minute, if I'll minus plan shutdown time, I'll get plan production time. I'll get this information. So I have taken plan production time. Now what is happening from the plan production time? Matlab all these value. From these value, if I subtract these value, right, I'll get what? Runtime. Acha, see, now what I have to do, I have to check first what is it coming if I solve it. So what is it? Let me calculate it quickly. 480 minus 45 minus 25 minus 15. So this is coming as 395. All right. So 395 minus what value we will consider here? So we will consider these value. If we subtract these value from the plan production time. See, niche we have calculated plan production time. How? By considering the total time minus plan shutdown time, we will get plan production time. Ab yahan se if you subtract the downtime, these are downtime, right? So subtract these values. 7.5 minus 18.75 minus 5. You will get what? If you solve them, you will get availability ratio. Right? If you solve them, you will get availability ratio. Okay. Next, ma'am, how we will calculate the performance ratio? So let me quickly see what is the runtime. 395 minus 7.5 minus 18.75 minus 5. This is 363.75 divided by 395. You can see the percentage. So divide this value with 395. 395 is 92.09%. 92.09%. ठीक है, performance ratio. This is coming your performance ratio. 1 minute. I hope I have calculated it correctly. Give me 1 minute. 363. Huh. Okay. And upper, what will be the value? No. I've done. Okay. So this is what I have calculated the availability ratio, right? I have taken the above values all, right? Availability ratio. This is availability ratio, right? Next is what? Performance ratio. Now for performance ratio, check what we divide the runtime here, you can see, and upper we will consider net operating time. So in denominator, we will consider 363.75 runtime. Here, this value we have to find. Let's see the question. So the question is taking what is the standard time for one piece 3 minutes. And how many good units we are producing? 120 units. So good unit is 120 units and it is taking 3 minutes. This will be the standard time for the production. (120 into 3). This is the standard time for production, right? Which is known as net operating time, right? Divided by your runtime. Okay, just divide it, you will get performance ratio. So what is it? Give me 1 minute. So what is it? Your 120, 120 into 3, 360 divided by 363.75. This is coming as 99.97%. Okay. So this will give you 90 what? 98.97%. The last one. Last one is good quality divided by total quality. So good quality is 113, total quality is 120 divided into 3. No, 120. See, good quality is what? 115. And total quantity is 120. So just divide them. Good unit is 115 units. And total unit is 120 units. Divide them, you will get quality ratio. 115 divided by 120. This is what? 95.83%. Okay, now divide these ratios, you will get OEE of the company. And you will get the answer. Simple. So you can see I have solved the entire question considering this table, right? You can see I'm using this table, and by using this table, I'm solving the question. You can imagine this table is, how so much helpful for us. So for that reason, in last session, I told you just take a screenshot of this table or just prepare this table somewhere. This table will help you to solve these questions very easily, right? It will be very easy for you to solve these questions, and these questions are quite important, right? You can get such questions in exam. So OEE is equal to 92.09% into 98.97% into 95.83%. Just multiply them, you will get the answer. Okay, if you want me, let me quickly solve it. So this is your 92.09 into 98.97 into 95.83. So this is coming as 87.34%. So in this way, you can find the answer. I hope it is all clear. If you have doubt, you can ask me your doubt in comment. Otherwise, I'll be winding up the session. Very nice. So you are calculating, Janvi. Very good. I hope it's all clear. If you have doubt, because I know in last session you had a doubt in this topic. So for that reason, I have taken this topic again, because I know in last session it was not clear. So for that reason, I have taken it again. Okay. But now what I believe, now you people do not have any doubt. And again, I will request you here that when you are solving the question of OEE now, just consider this table. This table will help you a lot to solve the question, right? You know all the ratios here is, all the ratios given here, and type of different losses is given here. So it is so easy for you to make a category. Okay, you know what type of losses is plan shutdown, or losses due to plan shutdown. You know what type of losses will come here, setup cost or machine failure cost will come here, and accordingly you can find these values and you can find this ratio, right? Accordingly, runtime will be used here, and you just need to find the standard time. You can find it easily, and the last one is very easy to find. So it is so easy to solve these questions, and these are very important, right, to find OEE. Okay, so with this, I'm winding up the session. In next session, what we are learning? In next session, we are learning about a new topic, chapter 4. All right, so goodbye all of you. Take care and have a nice day.